Well, we're off to Hong Kong for a conference. We were invited to participate in a tech conference, and as you can see, Bunny's pretty excited about being able to go overseas.
Because it was such a long flight, we decided to upgrade to premium economy. Here's the in-flight monitor where you can see what's going on from the front of the plane.
After what was a very long flight, we managed to actually get our feet back into our shoes and navigate our way through the airport, get a train and a cab to our hotel downtown, where we're staying at the Novotel Hong Kong Center.
I hear her heart beating loud as thunder.
Early in the trip, we decided to head over to the Kowloon district, where we were able to secure a tailor who would be able to produce a suit by the time we would leave Hong Kong. This is something that people choose to do when they go to Hong Kong, and the level of tailoring is on par with Seville Row.
For our first couple trips over to Kowloon, we decided to take the ferry just because it was a good way to view the Hong Kong skyline. Unfortunately, it was incredibly hot and humid, which made for quite an unpleasant journey. It was also a fairly long walk from the ferry terminal to the tailor.
While we were headed over to Kowloon to get a suit, we did decide that it would probably be a good idea to try to find a liquor store and get some liquor for the hotel room. And as luck would have it, we did find one that was right in the same building as the tailor. It's probably one of the better liquor stores over there, so that kind of worked out well. Did a little bit of market shopping before that, and found that strange liquor store with a lot of cats. The whole process of getting a custom-made suit over here was actually pretty amazing. You'd go in one day, they'd take some quick measurements, you'd pick out a fabric, and they'd bang together a suit for you to come back and try on in various different states. This is the final product on our third trip over, and it worked out really, really well.
One of the things that we really wanted to do when we were in Hong Kong was to go for some dim sum. Neither of us are particularly good at it, and it turns out to be significantly more difficult when you can't understand things like your number being called out to get into the restaurant.
This particular dim sum restaurant was actually recommended by a good friend, Anthony Bourdain. It was quite a lineup to get in, but it was well worth the wait. Another time out and about looking for different things to eat over in the Kowloon district with Andy and Alison, we found all sorts of different things and had a lot of good fun exploring.
We had some crazy waffles with different flavors that were really good. They also have a lot of different types of street food, including a lot of seafood and crab and fish ball, which we didn't really try.
Over in Kowloon that evening, we hit the night market, where you can buy just about anything you might want. There were all sorts of different clothing items, a lot of knockoff brands like the Star Wars franchise, and Alison managed to find about 8 pairs of socks for about $2.
We tried a couple different ways of getting back to the hotel from Kowloon, including taking the subway, which was accessible through an odd underground mall with some interesting stores. We also tried taking an Uber, which was easy and fairly fast, but also pretty expensive.
One afternoon, we headed over to the Peak tram, which takes you up so you can get a great view of the city. Once we got there, we saw a pretty long lineup and decided that probably not a very good investment of our time, so we traveled around the central district looking at some of the big, tall, crazy buildings.
We ended up spending a lot of time in the Soho area, partly because it's a fun place for nightlife, and partly because most of the events planned for the Rise conference took place there as well.
We had a relatively unsuccessful trip for shopping to the Landmark area, but it does have just about every brand you can imagine. So, we did find the British pubs. There were many of them around our hotel, and it made it feel a lot like Toronto meets London in Asia.
The main reason we were in Hong Kong was to go to the Rise conference, which is a conference that helps connect startups to investors.
The Rise conference is put on by the same group that does Web Summit and a bunch of other tech-focused conferences. It was pretty well organized in general, including the evening events where they really tried to get everyone together and get the liquor flowing and really help people make some connections. We had a lot of fun. After 3 long days at the conference, of which one we actually exhibited, and were really inundated with investor meetings and just non-stop action, we finally took some time to explore the area right around our hotel. And it was a thriving market with everything from vendors and food and different bits of just about everything you could want to buy as well, and it was really, really impressive.
The food in Hong Kong is a really interesting mixture of Asian and European food. We were lucky enough to find this amazing little French restaurant just around the corner called Wine Beast that had some absolutely wonderful cheese and wine and foie gras.
Wine Beast was a fabulous way to end Hong Kong, so next stop, Macau.